Begin. Okay, what did we think of that second part? Same feelings?
Better than the first, I thought.
Me too.
Oh, yeah.
I thought so too.
Oh yeah. Way better.
More angst.
Yes, I love the angst.
I liked the characters better too.
I think there was more to them than like the beginning where she was just like, ugh, everyone's getting married. Let me go back and try and get married with him, or like change something, even though we can't change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think too, I liked that. I mean, role and relationship wise, it was kind of like both stories had couples in them, but this one was more well established because they had been married like for a while already, versus the other relationship was kind of like just starting off, so I wasn't as invested in it. I feel like that's what made this one better and more powerful, like a little more emotional too, because of how they both really loved each other.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
I thought it was interesting that I honestly thought we were gonna get the husband and wife, the wife being the lady that sits on the table, not on the table, sits on the chair where you can go to the past. And I'm kind of glad that they're probably gonna save it until the end, or we won't find out. But it's kind of nice to see a little bit more of the characters, and this time I wrote them down so I can see how they're connected, and I was like, wow. Still confusing, but I'm starting to understand a little better.
I liked
Didn't
that.
they make?
Oh, go ahead, Julie.
Didn't they make a comment to the ghost, like kind of like a thank you, or there was some weird comment?
It says something at the end.
When she
Mhm.
came back.
I think Kazu said it, or
Thank you for
Right?
sitting there all this time or something, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was weird. What was that about? Like, is she a ghost or not?
Because she has to stay there according to what we know about the rules. But if she's not there, I wonder what happens if there's no placeholder after a certain amount of time. Maybe like the cafe will implode or something.
I feel like she's not a ghost. I feel like maybe she is cursed. Like it's like purgatory or something, like she's stuck there.
Yeah.
And she can't move on. But I mean, two things. One, a ghost shouldn't have to go to the bathroom. Two, wouldn't she have to sleep?
True.
So contradictory. So I don't know. That's why I think maybe she's like under some spell.
Oh, in a trance.
But I agree with you, Judith. I think maybe either like she's the last story, or like it won't ever be explained. It'll just be like a feature in all of the stories, or like they'll, I don't know. Yeah, she's either like there to just like cause some mystery, or there's a reason that she's there.
I also kept thinking, you know how the guy, what was his, Fugasi, something like that. He was like, oh, you're from the future. Like, how would he know? So I feel like somehow it's not as simple as like, oh, I went to the past and they don't know about me. Like, what if the stories have already intertwined? And even though it says like, oh, you can't change the future or whatever, like, how did he know that she was from the future? And how do we know that like that whole letter wasn't more of like it sounds weird to say, it's giving me like Inception vibes, where it's not just like that simple, like that letter somehow, because the past her went there and was talking about the letter, and then it's like, what if it was the other older him? I don't know, I'm getting maybe too confused into it, because it's like, how would he know?
Well, that part didn't bug me that much, because I thought like people know that this cafe is people can time travel, and they knew that. And she just must be very different than how she currently is. But what weirded me out was that she was able to bring the letter to the future. Like, I don't
Mhm.
understand that. Like, that
Which-
was weird.
I agree.
I think maybe that's why I'm like, there has to be some interconnection that is not like what if the letter was from a different time and this person took it from the past person and took it to the future of this, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It just doesn't seem as simple as like with all the rules. I think the rules are somehow in a little bit are being broken.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Loopholes.
believe that nothing completely does not change. I
Yeah,
think
because
nothing
technically
drastic.
that's a change. If she has the letter,
Exactly.
that's a change.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she could now make the choice to either care for her husband or not. Like, since he wrote her the letter, like, we know she was really dedicated before, but maybe now she'll feel less guilt about it. So then, therefore, if she chooses not to, then the future would actually be changed. You guys are right.
Yeah. It's funky.
Mm-hmm. I liked the physical description of the cafe. I feel like we got a deeper description of like how you walk in and things like that. And I liked that. I feel like I can picture it.
I also thought it was cool how they kept giving us a little bit more info about the cafe. Like when they were like, "Oh yeah, it's so hot," and we just stumbled across Funa, who knows what, the name of the cafe. And then I was like, "Wait, is it the cafe?" And then we find out that it is. And like 15 years ago, they stopped there, and they're still there. Hi, Crystal.
Hello.
You're doing your nails
Yeah,
again, Crystal?
No, I'm playing with my slipper because it's soft. Didn't they make a comment like only the people that work there know why it's cool? And they were like, no one beyond people who work here.
Or they say, I wrote this down, it's like, it's been like this since long ago. Like, there's no
Mhm.
explanation. Which I'm like, is the magic in the cafe the coolness? Because they keep like re-emphasizing that there's no air conditioning, this place is old, but somehow it's cool.
I think
The
you're
magic.
right. Because on the scary movies where it's like demonic and things like that, and they try to call it the spirits, they always reference, especially the ones where it's like they're trying to video record it. They always reference like a drop in temperature according to like some sort of like magical energy.
Plus, the coffee seems to get cold really fast.
That's
Mhm.
also true.
I did like this one a lot more than the first one for the reasons that everybody has said. And I thought that like the whole Alzheimer's thing made it hit home a lot. Well, not hit home, but like it made it more just more bittersweet and more affecting also because there were like real stakes. And it created just like a really nice like storytelling avenue. Like there was like a real reason for her to want to go to the past and experience that, and it like just made it, I don't know, it just like a lot of what they were saying like was really heartfelt, and the story was just like very affecting. I think it just so much more than the first one where you were just like, why do I care about this person
Exactly.
and her boyfriend? Like that I don't like, she just wasn't very like, I think if you're telling a story like this, you have to care about the characters involved, and like there was just no reason to care for the other person again. Like I
Yeah.
don't think any of us really felt very much for her. Whereas this one, and I think like I was talking last time about like maybe it was like a cultural thing because like there's such a workaholic culture in Japan that like maybe we just didn't connect with that one. But I felt like this one was very universal because, even if we haven't like had someone with Alzheimer's, like a lot of us have had like people in our lives, like family members that have gone through illnesses where, you know, they've changed and like we miss the way that they were. So it just was a lot more universal and well told, and I like this one a lot more.
Yeah.
Actually, there was a moment where I was getting like emotional, like when she reads the letter, because she kind of goes a little back and forth. Like, I don't want to read it because it's, you know, him kind of coming forth saying that he was sick, but I already know. Like, why do I want to know? But I think it was just like kind of like, because she was so worried on whether he actually liked her in the first part, that in the second part, it's like, I just thought it was super sweet to find out that it's like, oh, like I want us to live together as, you know, husband and wife.
Yeah.
The whole part about like
It's romantic.
he couldn't write very much too, like he wasn't very well educated. And then the fact that he did like a much longer letter for her, I felt like that was really significant too. And I also liked that because Fusagi came out in the first story, right? Just as
Mhm.
the guy sitting there. I
Yeah.
like that he came back, but I like that it was his wife that went back in time instead of him, because that was unexpected.
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of different possibilities that could have happened. And the way they introduced him, how he started to like lose his memory, or like you're starting, at least I was getting the little hints. I'm like, what do you mean he forgot this, or he dropped this, or who are you? Have we met before? Like that's a little like obvious, like why are you saying that? And then they're like, oh, it's your wife. And you're like, what? Like
Mhm.
I don't know, I feel like that was flowing way better than the other one.
It was a
And I mean,
gradual,
yeah, there
a
was
gradual
more
like
of a in-depth romance than the other one. So I
mhm.
liked it. It was sad.
It was sad. I feel a lot more happened in about the same like page span compared to the other one too. So I think that kept me interested at least.
Yeah. And the fact that she was like, I think in the beginning she said, I'm a nurse, so I'm gonna take care of him. But then towards the end, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of him, but also please don't call me by my maiden name. Please call me by, you know, like let me go back to how I was with him, kind of thing. And I was like, oh,
Yeah. Also, I'm just thinking now that we're talking about all this, I feel like in this story, it was more about the characters and like their problem and just how they're going through it emotionally versus the first one. I feel like what I remember the most from it at the moment is just like the angst of her trying to get into the chair, like Afwaj says. And then this one, it happened much more naturally. So I think that helped with the flow of the story too.
yeah, that's true.
And I think this was more what I was expecting with this book, where it's like a seemingly like simple kind of situation, but like going back in time makes like a profound difference
Mhm.
in the life of the person. Other than like again in the first one, it was just like, oh, we might meet again. I don't. It just was very shallow. Whereas this one was like, it literally like rekindled their relationship, even though he has no more memory. Like it created it like rebuilt their romance, even though like it shouldn't, like if she couldn't have gone back, it never would have, you know.
Yeah.
So it just was much more like cathartic and like, I don't know,
More nostalgic.
worthwhile in a story where you only have 4 stories, you know.
They have more history. The other ones was no.
Yeah, I think that made a big difference.
Like it totally changed my mind. I was hating on that first story so much.
It makes me curious about the next 2 as well, because I feel like there could be a big change in tone, you know. So I wonder if it'll be like, hopefully, you know, more similar to the second one, but
Yeah.
could be like the first one too. Like I do agree with you, Paula, that the first one maybe it's like the angst of like, do you choose like love or what your heart wants versus like working and, you know, bringing pride to the family or the company you're working to as well. but it's not as much in our culture.
We also got a little bit of, because the next section is the sisters, which
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Gumi and Hirai,
Yeah, you're
which you
right.
got introduced in the beginning. And at
Oh,
first I'm like,
yeah.
once again with the names, I couldn't get it.
There was that
But then-
side story. Mhm.
Yeah, there's like, oh, the N is gonna be for the older sister, but she was like disowned. So now it's the younger sister, but the younger sister doesn't want it, and they like the sisters don't get along. So I
I think you're right.
excited for that.
I do like how, if that is true, which I think it will be, how like one character from the first story is like in the next one, and then
Yeah.
those characters will be in the next one. That's pretty cool. I like
I'm
that.
glad you're keeping track because with the audiobook, it's so hard to keep track.
Yeah, I made a list. Maybe I could share. I don't know. I did it on Pages, but you can really see it. But
Yeah.
I wrote down their names because I'm like, I want to write down notes, but at the same time I don't. So I'm typing on my phone, and I'm able to keep track of like a little bit of the names. So it's kind of cool.
Was
But
Kay in the first story? She wasn't, right? I remember Kazu. That's the only one I remember her from both, but I don't remember Kay from the first one.
okay.
The other waitress.
Yeah. So I just wrote down that that's Kazu's cousin's wife, where Kazu called her sister, but they're not sisters.
Mm.
It could be them too.
Was
Since
it
it's their sister.
sister-in-law? Hmm.
I wonder if Kazu will play a bigger role because she seems to be kind of important to both stories in terms of like, you know, creating the time travel portion. Like she's always there for that. So I wonder if she might be in the focus of one of the stories.
Hmm.
Maybe she'll be the last one.
The last
I-
one is
I wonder too if there's like, if she's the coffee master, like who came before her, because they say the cafe is really old too. It must be like more than a generation old. So then like who taught her how to pour the coffee and all the rules and everything.
the last section is mother and child. And if we were to say Kazu, if we get more of her story, what if, well, they haven't said how old the lady that just sits there is, right? They didn't really
No.
say an age.
No.
What if she's the mom and Kazu's the child?
Oh, she tells her thank you. That's
That's a
super
really
angsty,
good theory.
very dramatic.
And you know how you said that she's cursed? What if like Kazu has to be there? Like somehow it doesn't only curse the person, but like the family.
Here's the family.
She has to be like the one.
Oh,
in the
dang.
coffee.
And maybe
Until someone else gets out? I don't know.
maybe she's secretly hoping that, yeah, someone else gets stuck in there so her mom could be free.
That's sad.
That's intense. Yeah.
It purposely makes the coffee really cold already.
Flips an ice cube in there.
Hey, I mean, that coffee gets cold really fast. Maybe she's messing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she brings the special little carafe too, and it's an old one,
Mhm.
right? So it has to be the magical one. Must be the magical.
Yeah, because the owner is, the last name is Tokita, and then Kazu is also Tokita, and then Kei, who's Kazu's cousin's wife, is also Tokita. So they are like the main people of the cafe, I would say.
The proprietors.
What about the guy who was picking the ingredients? What was his name? It starts with an N?
Nagare?
Yeah. Is he also related?
He's the owner of the cafe.
Mm.
It said.
They all have the same name.
They
have
all
the same
have,
name?
yeah, they all have the same like last name.
Hmm.
Oh, Kazu is the cousin of the owner. So confusing.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why they're telling us these things about the shop or the cafe employees, because maybe there is a reason for them
Yeah.
having such a big part in the stories.
Let me read the back and see if there's any clues.
I just realized Kay, I keep putting as like Kasu's cousin's wife, but Kasu's cousin is Nagare, the owner. So Nagare and Kay both own,
Mm.
right? Because I'm assuming that's the cousin that they're married.
Hmm.
Yeah, it says the cafe's been open for more than 100 years.
They're all ghosts.
Oh,
Well, they are able to go out and pick ingredients.
Hmm.
So
I was gonna say they're vampires. Or
back to Salem's Lot.
witches. Hmm.
Witches.
that would be really
Mhm.
interesting though if they're related to the woman who is a ghost.
It could be,
Yeah, because as I was writing down all the names, the only one left without a name is woman reading a book. Yeah, so mysterious.
I wonder what book she's reading too. Maybe it has a meaning like how the man was looking at the magazine to remember like the places he had been with his wife.
Well, didn't it say that in the first chapter it was called The Lovers?
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Oh yes, thank
So
you.
she's reading this book.
That's funny that she was reading that, but then it's like that was the name of the first chapter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this section, I didn't say the name of the part, but
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Trippy.
I wonder if in the book she knows like who's gonna come next to her chair when she goes to the bathroom.
Also, she definitely like leaves to go to the bathroom for a really long time.
Because she holds it in all day.
But she only gets up to go to the restroom. She's drinking stuff?
Is she also drinking coffee?
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm pretty sure she is. I'm pretty sure they serve her coffee.
Hmm.
She's not eating and she's not sleeping.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if she's only having coffee and she's not really eating, it's upsetting her stomach. So she's in the restroom for a while.
The diuretics.
A new diet. We'll see.
I hope they do explain it. I think I would be a little disappointed if they don't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they just leave it up in the air, I'd be pretty like if I was already going for like let me give this book a 3, maybe a 4, depending how the rest of the chapters go. If they don't give it to me, I'm dropping it to a 2 because that's like what? That's one of the key things, you know?
That'd be a loose end, yeah.
Yeah. However, I just remembered this is a series.
Oh, I saw the sequel at Barnes and Noble, I think.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It is?
It's one of 3,
Yeah.
I think.
One of
What?
3. Mm-hmm.
Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, yeah.
So is it just keeps, are they 3 different
keeps
stories? I'm
going.
like,
This is book 1.
So there's probably like more stories in the sequels.
Let me look at the titles of the others.
The next one is oh, never mind. Yeah, the second one is Tales from the Cafe.
Mm.
The third one, we know who this one is. Before Your Memory Fades.
Hmm.
Ah. And they're
So
gonna be
maybe
really
they're not-
old.
Maybe they're not like the same story. Maybe they're like sub stories.
Mhm.
That's what the third one makes me believe. Before Your Memory Fades. It seems like it's more of a Fugasi, Fusagi, and Kotake or something like that. Tales from the Cafe sounds like it could be ongoing from this.
Oh, there's going to be a fourth one.
A fourth one.
I got confused because I know I've seen it 3, and then I looked up the series on Amazon. Sometimes you can buy them as a series, or it
Yeah, I just saw it.
It says "Last Chance to Say Goodbye."
Oh my
That's
god.
not out
Yeah.
yet, but it sounds kind of dark. Like the titles sound progressively darker as we go on.
So maybe we aren't gonna get everything wrapped in a bow.
Oh gosh.
That'll be frustrating.
Definitely.
Because I don't think I'm gonna read the sequels.
Yeah, yo tampoco.
The covers are cute though.
I'm looking for a nail
know.
clipper.
I really hope they give us more, and then this is just like a little extension. Or
Mhm.
the other books are just a little extension of like the little stories we're getting.
Mhm.
Oh God, was I not muted?
We heard you looking for your nail clippers.
It was nothing incriminating or embarrassing at all.
I was looking in a box because I thought I had one right here, but it wasn't here.
You're good.
That's so funny.
And then I was like, wait, I have the, I don't know why I thought the camera wasn't on.
I saw you running back kind of fast, but I thought, sometimes it freezes and then the video gets like sped up.
See me go.
So our next section is the sisters. Corina reminded me that we need to bring a book next time. I don't know why I was getting ahead, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have a theme for March.
I thought I was behind.
We're in January.
Make sure.
February is like an easy one. You can just do romance if you guys are okay with that. Unless you guys want to be more creative and have another,
What if it's anti-romance?
Ooh,
We could also do
Like-
Black History
that'd
Month.
be goth and death and black and dark humor.
Yeah.
I have a specific book I want to pitch, but it
Okay.
doesn't. It's like not fully romance. There's like a romance element, but it's not like fully. I mean, we
But-
could just we could do like an open topic next month. If
I
we
was just
can't
gonna
think of
say, or
one.
bring whatever book you want.
What if, yeah, we could do that. I got several as a gift. That's why I was asking you, Judith, too. I do want to pitch some of the one of those, I think. But yeah, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, I would say bring whatever book you want. Because I feel like February is the typical romance. So I don't know if you want to do that. But
Doing an open
that's
one
why-
would be anti in a way.
yeah, I guess so.
If you're feeling romance, bring romance. If you're feeling like you hate romance, bring anti-romance.
Unless it could be romance if it's like open choice, open relationship.
Ooh,
That'd be dramatic.
polygamy.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that what you meant by open? Just kidding. Okay.
Tell me why, like, what is it, that family that has like, where it's like sister wives? That shit has been pulling up on my For You page like nonstop. Like, why? I've never seen this series ever.
And they all ended up getting. They all separated. The last one
Yeah.
left the guy.
Thing.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, I think so.
Because well, she
I
made the
don't
dumb
watch it at
excuse like,
all. I've just watched videos talking about it. I don't watch the show.
yeah,
But-
because it's like
Disclaimer.
you know the whole story just because it's like I mean, again, it's been popping up on my For You page, but
Mhm.
I'm like, what was the last girl's name? Robin or some shit. She tried to say like, oh, she joined the relationship because she wanted to be part of a polygamy relationship, but now that everybody left, she's like, oh, well, fuck this, I'm gone. She tried to say, oh yeah, I had a ton of suitors, like I'd been proposed to like twice before, and I was like, bitch, where?
Interesting.
I don't know. She doesn't look very nice.
I have watched the show.
You have.
It's one of my guilty pleasures. I haven't watched it recently, but I mean, the guy is horrible, so I don't blame him.
That was the main thing I heard too. That like he's the worst.
Oh my gosh. How do these girls?
I saw a piece of it. after-
Patriarchy.
Mhm.
They think they have to because their religion.
Mm,
Yeah, I saw a piece of it after another show I was watching one time, and it was playing, and I was like, well, this is very strange. Like they were fighting over who gets what house and who's living with who. And I agree, the gentleman does not look like that great or doesn't seem that nice. So I'm just like, why are they doing that?
why are
He's
you
not
fighting?
even cute. He's like partially bald. Not that bald guys aren't attractive,
was
but
just
he
gonna
just looks
say,
like,
Don't take
like-
my laugh as like, you know.
yeah, no. But like, I don't know. He's just not cute at all. And he tries to say, oh, my wives like my long hair. Like, no, ew.
Well, I forget if they're what specific religion they're part of. I don't remember if they're fundamentalist Mormon, but for that specific religion, it's like the more wives and children you have, like the higher in heaven you will go to. Like you have to have a certain amount of wives to go to like the highest pinnacle of heaven or something. If you've seen Under the Banner of Heaven, they talk about it in that TV show and in the book that Katie recommended, but that we
Mhm.
never read.
Interesting.
I couldn't get into that book. I'll watch the show.
The show was pretty good. It was a little long. Like it kind of went on like a little, like it was a little bit spread out, but it was pretty good.
It was Andrew Garfield, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll
Andrew
watch.
Garfield and the guy who's in the Avatar movies. Sam Worthington.
That was HBO or Hulu?
Hulu.
Hulu.
FX on Hulu. And Daisy Edgar Jones, who was in Where the Crawdads Sing and was in Normal People.
Mm.
Under the Banner. Yep, there it is. Oh yeah, these are long. Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty
Ow.
long. It's an investment.
Mm.
But it was pretty interesting, if a little long-winded.
I'll put it on my list to watch when I want to do like an hour of cardio. Just kidding, I would never. 30 minutes max. Maybe 40. I don't know. Okay. Well, bring your books. Read the next section. We'll see what happens.
Be there, be square.
Did you guys know that people say that because they say they want you around? So be around. I found that
I
out a
didn't
little bit
I
later.
did not know that.
I know,
Wow.
right?
That's kind of cute.
I love
I
it.
do want you around.
Yeah.
I thought it was because a square is supposed to be someone who is uncool, though I think squares are cool.
I never thought deeply about it. And then it came across like I want to say maybe a year ago. Where they're like, oh yeah, they say that because they want you around. Like
Mm.
around, but around. And I was like, oh, whoever came up with that is a genius. Like,
It's like a pun.
yeah, I
Mm.
love puns.
I never knew that at all.
Like, who's gonna?
I never
think
even thought
it
about
differently?
it.
Yeah. Like, so now you know.
It has more of a positive spin that way. I like it.
Yeah, be there, be square. Okay. Have a good night. Pleasure seeing you all. Thank you for
Good
joining.
Good night, chicas.
Adios.
Next week.
See you next week.
Night.